Hey, g'day guys, Sam here from TradetoProspa to give you a crypto update. GMX is the one that I've been talking about a few times, and I want to give you a bit of a story on GMX. Look at some plays that have taken place, and maybe you can learn some things from it, as well as explain pretty much the history and what's likely to take place, and what strategies that we use. So this is GMX. We have another GMX chart, which is from other exchanges like CoinEx. CoinEx has some weird setup in the early days, and what we can see is with KuCoin we have this rising wedge, rising channel as well. So I got this, but I'm not going to talk in detail for this one. I'm just going to go from this one perspective, which is on pretty much Bybit. So let's begin. So what we have in the beginning is, well, what I have, assuming, is a wave 5 count. And usually, when we look at this type of stuff, there's usually a harmonic in taking place, and I think it's taken place. And what we can do is from there to there, and usually the 1.272, sorry, usually it validates that as a swing failure trade. I've seen that many times in the past, and I'm assuming I didn't time it well, but anyway, I've sold a fair bit on my coins, and I'm looking to pretty much do a short, and I'll explain why. So that was a swing failure setup, and we could go into those details. So what we have here early in the early days, right here, give me a sec. This section here is a nice Fibonacci setup. So let's look at that. Here we go, and so we can see clearly. And the reason I'm going to go for this is the 618 band. So this level is very important. Very important when it comes to this level here. So we have a number of levels that you can see when you apply the Fibonacci. You can see this level, roughly, if we take the wicks as well, is acting as resistance at the moment. But it's not really. There is also a Fibonacci in the local space that does that. But you can see that this level is very important, as well as this, which is a neckline. So when we see this as a topping off structure, we can see that this is, when you look at it from a Wyckoff perspective, and I'll bring it up just as a model, we're in the LPSY stage. Now this LPSY stage can go up a bit more, so there is no reason why it can't do some sort of bear flag or bull, something like that, and then come back down as well. There's many possibilities. So finding a leverage trade in this market is going to be difficult, but a spot trade to short is going to be much more safe. So moving on. So when we got this, let's just clean it up a bit. We have our clear point of control from a volume perspective, and that's a 618 level all the way through. And let's just highlight that more dark. There we go. So we've got that key level. When we break above it, you can see how it's played it out. And what we had, and if I was to just do this, we had this broadening wedge and an elite wave count and a breakout to the upside. And if we were on target, the 618 pullback onto the 204-hour moving average was perfect entry. And this is just going over some lessons that we can learn. Now you can see the 200 moving average is acting as resistance. So here we played support all the way through, and now we are likely to have this as resistance. So I would be shorting and then having a stop loss slightly above it. All right, let's continue on. And then we had the second structure, which is that. All right, so let's just move this away. So the second structure played this out, another descending broadening wedge. We had our ABCD, wave 3 to 4 created, and when it pulled back to the 618, up it went, and now hit our 1.272 extension. Clear, right? That, my friends, is a reversal structure. So let's just pull all these things away. You can always play it back. And what we'll also have is a rising channel or broadening wedge of some sort. And let's just remove that. And now where's my text? Here we go. So what we had from the top, this play out. This is called a swing failure, and you can see why I said it. There's my A, B, C. Now, where's our B? Our B's there, right? That is our B, give or take, and you can be pretty much play it safe. That is our B level. See, guys, what happens when it comes down there? B, sell. That could, now we're looking for an E for shorting. E could be slightly above, and let's have a look at it from a fib perspective. And we go all the way to the top. Now we've got two levels. That is one level of interest, right? And if I was to reverse this, that is my other level. All makes sense. You can see how that is perfectly aligned with previous resistance. So I'm looking from that perspective that this could be a good shorting opportunity. And just give me a sec. Continuing on, let me find my shorting positions. So we have that. And you can see how I derived those two levels. Now we can just remove that. And now I'm going to show you that's one level of shorting, and that's the other level of shorting. And now if we were to look from the swing high to the swing low, that could be our target. So we've got a number of targets. We don't know which one. That could be the 618 or this middle section. So what we have is a box. That box is what I'm interested in as a target if I was to short and catch some profit. And from a broadening wedge perspective, if we look at this, this is pretty much confluent all the way through. This is a good likely position for taking profit when we short it there. That is one level that might play out and hasn't reached it, so we can come down. And the other aspect to this is we have this measured move from there to there from a structural perspective, and you can see where it comes down to 0.5 Fibonacci as well. So I would look for that roughly, give or take, as my target. And then this is a much more supporting level. So yeah, guys, I do think this is a good shorting position. Stop loss is pretty much above it, because if we see this come up, we need to see break this trend line, and I don't think it's going to happen. But if it does, that's my next level before a short there. So I do think this is a good shorting opportunity there, and our stop loss is very tight. So enter that, and then we have our target. This is it, and potentially further down. The alts aren't going to do well, it seems to be. So this is what I have at the moment, guys. Any questions, post them up on this post, and I'll try and answer them. Otherwise, I'll leave it at that, and I'll talk to you soon. Cheers.